Good evening, skin enjoyers. I hope you're doing right, because it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Just 2 days ago, all of these skins rotated into the Rust store, and in this video, we're going to look at their progress based on sales and try and figure out, are these skins still looking to be perfectly fine investments, or are there any potential problems you need to be aware of? So sit back and relax, let's start talking. So what we're currently looking at is the first 24 hours of sales. Of course, with every brand new Rust store, 24 hours after the Rust store has rotated, I'll go to scmm.app, I'll take a screenshot of all the sales, and of course, I'll tweet it out, and we do this so we can make comparisons to previous weeks. So, the first 24 hours of sales, I was actually very surprised to see the AK-47 ended up becoming the most bought skin. I wasn't expecting that, I wasn't fully behind it, but I did kind of understand. Quite a lot of people did like it, but in contrast, quite a lot of people don't like it. It's a bit colourful, it's a bit out there, but it is pretty cool in its own style, so we'll give credit to that, and clearly there's enough people that like it enough where it ended up becoming the most bought skin. So, with 9,200 subscribers, where might that potentially end up at? Well, if we were to compare it to previous weeks, we know that the Shadowborn Sheepman of Double Door had just over 10,000 subscribers, although, 27 hours, we've got to remind ourselves of that. And of course, the week before that, we had the likes of the Blackout Sap with 8,000 subscribers. Well, we know this ended up with about 18,000 subs, and this ended up with about 21,000 subs. So maybe this is going to just comfortably reach around 20,000 subscribers. Probably. Maybe, potentially, we shall see. But the first 24 hours of sales isn't exactly a super easy thing where we can make a very solid estimate. But we can still kind of get a good idea of where it's going to end up at around. So keep that in mind. And then with the likes of the Rainbow Pony, kind of surprised to see it only did about 6,500 subscribers. But I was under the assumption it was going to be selling less compared to the rest of the clothing and armor pieces in the set. So take that into consideration. And I'm very, very surprised to see Redemption really didn't move that much. If I can recall, the Redemption Tier 3 did like 6,500 sales after the first 24 hours. So we'll have to talk more about that. We have to consider how many sales will Tier 2 end up with, and will it match up to Tier 3 sales by the end of the week, or rather by Thursday. You get the idea. So that's the first 24 hours of sales, the likes of these. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sales now. So I should point this out, it's a little bit later from 48 hours, but it wouldn't really be that much of a difference, so don't worry too much about that. So let's jump in, let's go through all these skins in order of their appearance here, and then we'll talk about the potential final sales they'll have, and we'll question if that's okay in terms of will everything work out as a nice investment. Right then, so we have the MK Ultra AK-47. This has only got about 13,200 subs. Only? Yeah, well, whatever, let's just move on. So basically, a $3 skin with that many sales 2 days in, I'm actually kind of surprised by that. So with my predictions video, as I looked at it, I was skeptical. I wasn't sure if that was going to be getting enough support. So number one, you've got a cool looking, trippy looking design. It doesn't glow. Some people have asked me that. No, it does not glow. It's just very colourful. I do like that design though there for the click to buy. Hessiam, congratulations in getting another skin accepted. You haven't had many, but you're doing a good job with that. But will this develop into the likes of a potential weapon collection? Will we have like an LR300 next to SAR? Maybe some pistols? Who knows? But you get the idea. Will there be more? Well, the only thing that we can do is keep an eye on the likes of the workshop, so we only have that to say there. But, sorry, I went over there. We do have to also take into consideration, well, with all the AKs we've had over the past year, are we going to see even more? Yes, of course we will. We know that for a fact. I've been making such a fuss about that. So back over to here, look at all the AKs we've received so far this year. I believe we're like week 18 or week 19 for 2024, and we've already had 15 AKs being accepted. Huh. Last year, we ended up with 44. Guys, if we end up with a whole lot more AKs, which will happen, it's inevitable, do you reckon that will always remain being fairly in demand? Will it always stand out very nicely? Well, number one, when you look at them at a first glance, it does stand out quite nicely with all this coloration. But then again, didn't I kind of mention that briefly of the likes of the Serpent AR? It stands out quite uniquely. It looks pretty interesting. Well, look at it now. It's already half in price, down to just over $1. Now, the Thundergold AK-47, that's doing quite alright at the moment. $3.49 was its Rust store price, currently sitting at $4. Alright, we can respect that. Also, Black Diamond AK-47 is only down by 1%. Just about maintaining, or rather retaining, its Rust store price. So, most of the AKs, not doing super great. Most of them barely over $1. But some of them have stood, they have stood up retain their value. If I scroll down over here, last year's skins, Ninja AR and Abyss AR now pushing upwards. And if I scroll down a little bit more, the ever so, well, beloved Kiss AR still holding up ever so nicely at $5.38. Whilst not all of them went down in price, there's only a few that have actually managed to stay up. So now I bring up the likes of some previous fairly pricey AK-47s that came out this year, with the likes of El Diablo, with the likes of Mythical Dragon, and just to quickly point this out, yeah, they had very cool looking designs. They stood out quite nicely. That sold for $3.49. That now sells for, and yeah, $1.07. Then we have the likes of the Lunar New Year AK-47, all the jewels, all the gold. Get a good look at that. Very nice. Quite colourful because of all these jewels. Well, that's now selling for just about $1.43. Ha, yeah. So it's not retaining its price. It's not exactly a very nice investment right there. So what of the AK here? What do we think? Well, first of all, I'd love for you to comment below, write out your opinions. Do you think that will stand the test of time and retain its value, stay fairly pricey, or will it end up suffering like most AKs? And just to really get the point across, look at this in terms of, well, if we compare it to all the other AKs and then look by price, by default, AKs usually sell for $1.99. For that to be sitting there at $3, well, let's see where it currently is positioned for highest priced AKs. And we do have 250 of these. It's in the upper bracket. It's in the upper bracket. So as I scroll down here, every other AK we now look at is cheaper. And well, in certain cases, we could actually buy 2 of these AKs for the price of just 1 of these MK Ultra AKs. So yeah, there's a lot to compare to, and that's a problem. We have far too many AKs to choose from, that's a problem, but that's all based around investment. If you like the skin, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creator. Keep them motivated, keep wanting to put out nice and creative designs in the future. But in regards to this, looking at it as an investment, I'm cautious. But at the very least, that is an abnormal skin. We know that's going to become marketable at an earlier time. For all those people that don't know, please consider watching my most recent abnormal video, which is located just over here. Yep, May 9, 2024. Give that video a good watch. I do explain how everything works, and there are some videos in the description of that video which will explain further. But yeah, we have that time to our advantage. We can see what the barter support looks like. It will still be in the Rust store, and we'll consider if we want to jump in and buy some. Much like how with the previous week we had the very cool looking Shadowborn double door. Well, we did our abnormal barders, we looked at the support afterwards, and well, let's just remind ourselves of what it looks like. So over to here, only 98 listed at the moment. And the buy orders, well, the buy orders are now pushing up to 350. When it was Wednesday night / Thursday morning, depending where you were in the world, when the abnormals appeared, we had barders going all the way up to about $2.80, I think even $2.90, I don't fully remember, but basically it went very close to its Rust store price, that was $2.99. So looking at that, I was like, yep, I'm going to go buy some. I bought 50 because they're fairly expensive. Now I regret it because I wish I bought more, because with these strong barders that you see here, it's keeping the price up. It's currently sitting at $4. Give it, maybe another week or two, maybe we'll see a less quantity on the Steam market, maybe we'll see higher prices. I'm looking forward to that. But I felt very assured to jump in and buy some after I did my abnormal barders. I waited, I then, did that, and then it felt safe. I jumped in, and already I could make a quick profit. So that's what we'll want to do with the likes of this AK here, and many of the other skins that we have here as well, because there's only one skin that isn't abnormal this week. It's the bow skin. So do consider using the abnormal time advantage. Right. So, again, I'm still very 50-50 on that, but when we make comparisons to the likes of the previous week's 24 hours of sales, as we just saw here, that ended up with 21,500 subscribers, and this over here, this ended up with 18,000 subscribers, the Blackout Sat. After the first 24 hours, that had 8,000 subs. After the first 24 hours, that had just over 10,000. Actually, no, it's 27. We'll just say around 10,000, all right? So looking back at this SAP again, I expect it to reach 20,000 sales, around that. Maybe it goes up a little bit more. Maybe it doesn't. But it's going to be around that. That I feel very confident in. And if you think 20,000 sales is quite a lot, again, we can look at the likes of comparing to all the other AKs. And then what we'll do is we'll search by subscriber count. So if I go over to here, subscriber counts, if it's going to currently reach around 20k, how high will it end up being? It's going to probably end up around here, again, in the upper half, like, I'd say upper 20%. So there's a lot of AKs here. get a good look at all that. A lot of AKs here that sold a lot, and how many of them are currently in the positive? Not that many. You got 1, you got 2, you got 3. Do you think that stands out enough? Do you think nothing else will compare to that throughout the rest of this year? As in, will there be any other AK that's just as colourful? So, yeah, now you got to really think about it. But again, wait till Wednesday. Abnormal barders first. That's the smartest approach. So, we'll consider that. Right, let's move on to the next skin. Rainbow Pony Jacket. Okay, number one, I've got to really point out how many of the skins here went up in price. Because, well, the jacket appeared. Suddenly, everybody remembered what the Rainbow Pony collection was. Let's go look at the kilt. Let's go look at the clothing. And you're going to be pleasantly surprised to see the reaction when a new... Okay, rather, by default, when we see new core pieces being accepted, the pre-existing core pieces would spike in demand, spike in price. But Rainbow Pony, as you can see here, is effectively a complete set. Hoodie and pants, tier 3, tier 2 armor. So I also point out, well, you know, when we see boots and gloves being accepted, we do also tend to see a bit of a spike in demand, spike in price, but the same also applies to jackets. So this is where we go back over to here, $4 here, barders pushing up to just over $3, and that's what it looks like after we saw the jacket being accepted. It was quite a surprise, but yeah, look at the its history of sales, and yeah, it kind of went up. Goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, down. It was doing pretty bad fairly recently. Not anymore. That is the highest price it's been for well over a year, and that is looking very comfortable right about now. So Rainbow Pony has had a very nice resurgence. It's nice to see, and personally, if you own any of those skins, I would recommend you sell them, because I don't expect it to really stay like this for the foreseeable future. Then again, summer's just literally around the corner. Maybe things do work out very well, but I also have to point out they have very low listings at the moment because they got bought out. So, kind of think it might be a better option to sell. It's up to you, you still have time, but they are still technically trending upwards. And again, when you look at it like that, it's the highest price it's been for a very, very long time. It hasn't been this high since post-Christmas 2023. So, that's looking cool. And over to here, the pants are sitting here at just under $6. Oh no, it is $6 now. Cool. Okay, well, there you go. That's nice, that's cool. And yeah, wow, actually, that is its new all-time highest price. Cool. So, yeah, Rainbow Pony's having a fun time. But will it last? Will this always stay where it is? Well, as I kind of explained, I don't think it'll be staying this high. Maybe it does for a reasonable amount of time, give it a few more weeks, but I don't think it'll be surviving the likes of the autumn, fall, seasonal dip, September, October, November. Alright, so, jacket. When I compared this to all the other jacket skins, it's the most standout one based on colour. What do you mean? Well, very colourful compared to these and that. And then, again, yeah, you got a red one there, the Santa one, but it's just red. This has all kind of colours. But yeah, it's pretty colourful compared to the rest, so it stands out quite nicely. And if someone wants to be nice and goofy, there you go, you've got the perfect jacket skin right there. But also, so far, 9,000 sales. Alright, it's not too bad, but where will this end up at? I'm looking at this and I'm thinking we're probably only going to reach around 15,000 sales. That's not bad, but when you compare it to the rest of the clothing and armour, it's selling quite a lot less compared to it. All the better for the jacket to rise up in price in the future. So these two, about 24,000 sales subscribers. These end up with about 19,000 subscribers. Sorry, I said sales subscribers. Subscribers are treated as bare minimum sales because subscribers are the amount of individuals that bought the skin. We don't know how many they bought, but we know for 100% as a fact the subscriber count. So that's why I refer to them as bare minimum sales. So that had about 24,000 both from those. This had about 19,000 for both of these. And all of the tier 2, well, on average it seems to be... well, those two had about 14,000, but this had 20k. So yeah, that right there, can't help but assume it's going to be selling less compared to all of that. That right there, can't help but assume it will have a pretty easy, comfortable time on the Steam market. I expect it to stay up above its rust or price for the foreseeable future. I just don't really expect it to be doing crazy prices. So the best thing I can really compare to is the previous jacket skin that we had. So as I go over to here, I want to point out that a good couple months back, maybe about 3 months ago, we had the black gold jacket. Now the black gold jacket right there, as you can see, it's not exactly doing insane prices at the moment, but it is in the positive. It has retained its value. But just take this into consideration. It doesn't really have that much stock in the Steam market, and yet still solely at this price. Let's also look at its sales history, and yeah, slowly it is trending upwards. It looks like it could still keep going up in price and whatnot. That's nice to see. Where does it end up at? I don't think it'll be very high, even from the likes of what we see here. So I did sit here and say quite some time back that would something like this greatly prosper with the likes of the Nightlight update when that was getting introduced. Turns out not really, but it's still doing okay. So this is a situation where it's like maybe it's just better off that we stick with doing a buy order on the Rainbow Pony jacket and then just leave it be. And I just can't help but assume that well, maybe it's just going to be doing okay, as in, if we did like a $2 buy order, alright, fair enough, you bought it for 49 cents cheaper than the Rustore price, but then it probably early ends up at around $2.60 on the Steam market. Yeah, you can still sell it and make a profit. That's cool, but would you try and see if you can get it cheaper, offer a lower price? Would that still potentially work out well? Well, let's just quickly remind ourselves that the jacket that we see there, that jacket ended up with just about 15,000 sales. So it's pretty much the exact same as what we're expecting with the likes of this. So I'm a little bit with the likes of that, but yeah, I reckon this is going to probably do around 15,000 sales, and I reckon whilst it will probably do a decent job in retaining its value, there's nothing really else that could come out after it that's going to really cause that to boost in price. Black Gold was pretty much in the exact same position because all of Black Gold's core pieces had already been accepted. It did alright, but it's not really going all the way up, it's just doing well. And if that's good enough for you, well, maybe you might want to just stick with doing a buy order. Cool. Got that out of the way. 15,000 sales is the expectation. Let's see if we match up to that or go above. And if we do go above, it's not the end of the world. We'll see. So wait until Wednesday, then we'll make a decision. I will be streaming then. Look in the description of this video. You'll see links to my socials, more specifically my Twitch. On Wednesday night, I will be streaming. I will be discussing all of these skins, and we will be discussing what prices we might want to offer for when we do our abnormal buy orders. Because that right there is also abnormal. Right, so I feel like I've said more than enough for the likes of that. Let's move on to the next skin. Let's start talking about the Watcher of Doom sheet metal door. Sorry, I almost said double. Right, we got Sauron here, looking pretty goofy, looking pretty silly. I'm still surprised this was allowed, but hey, I mean, so as long as you don't explicitly say the name, I guess it's totally fine. But we know what this is referencing. We know exactly what it's referencing. Do you have the ring? Anyway, I have to bring this up. Sheet metal doors are not good investments. What do you mean? It looks cool. No. Take a look at all of these. How are the recent sheet metal doors that we've had so far this year? How are they all holding up? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's expected. It's fully expected. So let me put it this way. What's the chances that we potentially see another sheet metal door being accepted next week? I wouldn't be surprised. We tend to see a lot of them being accepted every year. So last year we had 30, and the year before that we had 28. So yeah, I do expect a whole lot more sheet metal doors to be appearing. Well, what's so bad about that? We have far too many to compare to. We literally just talked about an AK-47 about 10 minutes ago, and we brought up how for that price, $249. Well, if most sheet metal doors sell $1.49, that's already at a higher point. Let's compare its current price compared to all the other skins that exist, and let's see where this currently stands based on the $2.49 price it's selling for. And lo and behold, what you see right here, it's pretty high up. Yeah, sheet metal doors, they don't really do a very good job of retaining their value. They do not do a very good job of becoming very nice investments. So many interesting looking doors down in the negative, selling for very cheap prices. Don't forget, we also get the likes of Twitch drops and whatnot, so that also causes problems. We're expecting Twitch drops soon. We're expecting Twitch drops soon, aren't we? It was announced in the community update about 2 weeks ago. We don't know what skins are going to be the Twitch drops, but don't be surprised if you potentially see some sort of sheet metal door. So anyway, looking at the likes of that, currently it's got about 8,000 subscribers. My current expectation is it's going to probably do about 13 to 15,000 sales. And then if we were to compare to all the other sheet metal doors that we've seen so far, what prices did they sell for? Where are they currently standing now? This right here, Watcher of Doom, could it potentially turn into a collection? Because the first thing I want to compare to is the likes of the Tomb of the Octopus Metal Door, 249, sold about 11,400. Well, it's currently sitting there at 233. Not terrible, but not exactly great. There's only 18 of those in the Steam market as well. Let me just quickly look that up. Is that true? Wow, that's hardly anything. Remember, on average, every single Rust skin on the Steam market usually has about 100 quantity on average. That's got 18, and it's still below its Rust store price. Because, well, I just don't think people are actively wanting to jump in and buy some. There we go. It's going to get really awkward when it starts to become September. If you have buy orders on sheet metal doors, you might want to remove them when we reach to around maybe the end of August, and I'm not joking. So I have to make some sort of video talking about that for skins in general, of course. But anyway, Moon God literally just came out the previous week, $2.49, now it's selling for $2. You have the Tomb of the Octopus Metal Door right there, $2.49, that's selling for $2.43. We have the standard, Hazzy sheet metal door there, so it's off the standard price, it's now just barely over $1. We also have the likes of Blocky Lighthouse door here, part of a collection. We're expecting more Blocky skins to be accepted, didn't really happen, but we still have a collection of 3. Anyway, 40 listings, cheapest one, $1.58. This sold for $2.49. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, that's kind of struggling. We have the Shadowborn sheet metal door right there. The collection as a whole is doing ever so nicely at the moment, so it's not surprising to see that's currently in the positive. And then all of the skins over here, yeah, basically, on average, it ain't looking pretty. And I also have to bring up that very unfortunate period of time in the summer where we had a series of $2.49 sheet metal door skins being accepted, and every single one of them ended up going down in price very, very badly. So across the board, judging by how a lot of them ended up, after the autumn fall seasonal dip, I can't help but assume this is going to struggle in the future. I can just basically foresee it. Now, however, if we were to see more of this Watcher of Doom set potentially being accepted, aka the skin creators turn it into a collection, I don't know, maybe make an armoured door, some wooden doors, a furnace. What about if we saw the likes of a rug? Put the eye wherever you want. Put it outside your base. The eyeball's always staring at everybody that walks past. Make an actual tower, potentially, where it's always watching everyone. Where did you get that idea from? Shut up. Anyway, so, you get the idea. If we do see more of this as a collection, okay, that could definitely help improve it. Much like how, as I said, Shadowborn Collection has been doing very nicely at the moment so far this year, because it ended up with 5 skins being accepted. That's nice. That's special. People appreciate that. But this is just the beginning, so got to keep an eye on the workshop. I know it's so routine, but this is just how Rust is. If you've noticed it's very routine, congratulations, you're a mastermind with the Rust Steam market already. Smartest way to go about this usually, just do a buy order. Honestly, that's how I've succeeded so much all the way up to this point. But yeah, as time goes on, there will be a period of time where all the skins get very cheap, and if you do a lowball buy order, hey, look, you pick these up for a very cheap price, and then you just wait a long period of time again until the skins are selling for a much better price again. Sell then, an easy flip. You just got to be able to afford buying all those skins, and it gets pretty pricey, so be prepared for such a thing. Sheet metal door. You're going to probably end up with 13 to 15,000 sales, as already said. You're abnormal buy orders first, look at it afterwards, make a decision if we actually want to buy it. You get the idea. So, at the end of the day, if you like the design, by all means, buy one for yourself. But if you're looking at that with the financial perspective, trying to figure out if I actually want to buy some as an investment, wait until Wednesday. Abnormal buy orders always first. Okay, cool. Let's now move on to the likes of the Redemption Tier 2. So I brought this up earlier. If I can recall, for the first 24 hours of sales for the likes of the Redemption Tier 3, which, by the way, came out what time of the year? That came out in September. Okay, that's not exactly the best time to have a skin accepted, but it is what it is. But yeah, even then, that did about 14,000 sales each in terms of subscriber count. More specifically, that did about 13,600. That did about 13,800. I do believe there's more of them that exist, because of course it's estimated there's like 16,000 plus of both. But, that's doing alright at the moment. With this appearing, that spiked in demand, spiked in price. For the likes of Tier 2, we've got to hope and wait and see that we actually end up seeing the likes of Hoodie and Pants at some point in the future. Now, I did bring this up. If you just want to have something that would, fill in the gaps for a while, consider looking at the Ronin collection. Just use the Ronin Hoodie and Pants for the meantime. But for this right here, what I'm trying to get across is, I don't think this will be selling as much as the Tier 3. Now, you've got to understand this. Typically, with the likes of a collection, the skins, or more specifically the core pieces, so that being tier 2, tier 3 and hoodie and pants, the ones that sell the least tend to become the most expensive pieces, whereas the ones that have sold the most suffer. Abyss Collection is usually a very good example for this, because the Abyss Collection started off with tier 3, but that was accepted in like early summer when there was a lot of people playing, so that ended up with about 26 to 27,000 subscribers each. But then, 2 months later, we finally get tier 2, but there's a lot less people playing by then, therefore we don't end up with as many sales, so that did about 15,000 sales, that did about just under 17,000 subscribers. That's significantly less compared to these, by about 10,000. And then the hoodie and pants appear later on, the lowest selling ones, 14,300 subscribers, 14,200. Well, look at them now, both comfortably in the positive. Look at these two now, down 57% each. That has an excessive amount, this has the lowest amount, so you can see the difference. That very likely could be happening to the likes of Redemption, just not as bad as that with the Abyss, because Abyss had differences of about 10,000 sales. If it's just a few thousand sales, for a reasonable amount of time, it might be noticeable that the prices are quite significant potentially, but over time it probably wouldn't matter too much. We'll see, but just understand this. If people want the full collection, there's only so many kilts to go around, for sure that kilt's going to be a whole lot more expensive because of it. So yeah, 7,000 sales for the kilt so far, 6,500 sales about for both of these two pieces here. Please understand this, we knew the kilt was going to be selling more. What tends to happen with a collection, I can bring up Forest Raiders as an example. When we look at the likes of the vest and the helmet, they sell less, usually, not surprising, because people most likely will be wanting to use the kilt with the tier 3. If it's a clan, they're easily going to be able to get the likes of face masks and chest plates and whatnot. But as we look at the likes of Forest Raiders, look at the likes of these two skins here. These only did 22,600 subscribers, that did 21,500 subscribers, but compare that to the likes of the hoodie and pants here. Hoodie and pants did like 28,000 sales, or rather, subscribers, and then tier 3, pretty much the same thing, 28,000 subscribers. That's quite a lot more compared to the likes of these two. And then when it comes to the kilt, 27,600. Now we look at these skins based on highest price. Oh wow, these are pretty pricey, because there's a lot less of them. This collection ended up becoming very in demand, I wonder why. But yeah, you get the point I'm trying to get across is, because there's a lot less of these, and people wanted the full set, there was only so many of these to go around, and there's like hardly any stock in the Steam market, 19 and 20. They ended up becoming very valuable because of that. Do you think Redemption could end up being the same? I don't think it's going to be as in demand as Forest Raiders. Don't think so. I'm being honest. It's not exactly the best camouflage, is it? But you do end up becoming a Bionicle. So think of all the superpowers you get. Alright. Yeah, we have to take that into consideration. Is everyone going to be super vying for the likes of wanting to have all the shiny cranberry red? Well, probably not. But I can seeing a lot of people liking it and wanting to use it. It's all up in the air. Sorry to say. So at the very least, all 3 of these skins, all the tier 2 pieces, are abnormal. We can wait until Wednesday. We can consider prices to offer for them. We can engage, we can jump in, we can put the barders down, and we'll see how that turns out. I do recall the likes of Thundergold. Thundergold started off with tier 3, then we got the tier 2 armor, never got the hoodie and pants, but the point I'm trying to get across here is this did like 20,000 subscribers there, this did about almost 21,000 subscribers there. I now look at the other tier 2 pieces here. The coffee can and the vest did about 18,000 subscribers. The kilt did about 20,000 sales, and well, yeah, or subscribers. And now look at that. All of that's very comfortably in the positive. Alright, so that worked out quite alright. Looking at this, could we imagine the same thing? Well, I get the feeling people want to use Thundergold because, you can mix and match with the likes of comics and Whiteout. Have some Arctic armor. You might get cold, but you get the idea. Yeah. It's questionable. Like, I have had to question the likes of Chameleon collection as well, and we'll be doing that in a second. It's all shiny, and is that what people really want? I mean, if you want to show off, by all means, yeah, sure. But I think a lot of sweaty people don't want that. They want something that doesn't reflect so much. So, at the end of the day, if you like it, go grab a set for yourself. But if you're looking at that with the financial perspective, wait till Wednesday. Abnormal barders first. All right, cool. So let's... sales. Okay, so... Kilt, of course, I do imagine will sell more. I am in the position where I think the kilt probably only might do about... I can imagine it probably creeping up to maybe 14,000 sales, because I can't help but assume by the time we do the Wednesday abnormal barders, it probably will have like hardly any sales, and, well, in comparison to tier 3, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people jump onto that. But likes of these two, okay, so I think that might do 12 to 14,000 sales, but these, they'll probably do about 10 to 12,000 sales. Yeah, so that's my expectation. We'll see how it turns out, but I will reiterate this. Keep an eye on the likes of these two. They very likely could end up becoming quite valuable if the difference is going to be like pretty significant, so we'll just have to wait and see. So let's move on to the next skin. Let's talk about Chameleon Roadsign gloves. This has only done 5,400 sales so far. Not surprised. I did expect the Roadsign gloves to not exactly be doing crazy sales. I thought it was going to be fairly timid. I thought it was going to end up in this very position. So it's the third lowest selling skin out of all of these skins. Okay, that's fine. But I did talk about this. It's a $2 skin. That can be a little bit awkward. Yes, it's holographic. Someone really had to point that out to me. Hedge, it's holographic, it's shiny, you get to actually see it, it looks cool. Alright, fair enough. But we do have to consider, you know, is the Chameleon collection doing alright at the moment? Yeah. Talking about difference in sales, the hoodie and pants did like 3,000 sales less compared to the tier 3. They are doing very nicely at the moment. Tier 3's still doing good. That's nice to see. So, of course, as I pointed out a little bit earlier, with the likes of jackets and boots and gloves, you do still see the likes of core pieces going up in demand, up in price a fair bit. In fact, looking at this whole collection, it's definitely trending upwards. I do really want to talk about that a whole lot more. We are seeing prices across the board doing ever so nicely at the moment. I've been seeing some skins reaching new all-time high prices. Oh yes, indeed. So we'll wait for that for a little bit. But yeah, Chameleon is doing good, and that's nice to see. But let's start to really question what's going to happen to the likes of this. Well, I did make a direct comparison to the likes of the Abyss Roadsign gloves, because the Abyss collection, which we did look at a little bit earlier, it's, you know, the quantities that got bought and whatnot are a bit all over the place, but those gloves sold the least out of all of this. Only 10,000 sales. It's only up by 91 cents at the moment. If you were to pay $2, right, knowing that you'd get almost $3 back, you know, let's say after 4 months, yep, that's the best way of putting it, would you consider that worth it? If you had a lot of money and you bought a whole bunch of them, okay, fair enough, that probably would be worth it, but I don't think you have a ton of money. I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but you kind of get the point I'm trying to get across. Is that truly worth it? That's something for you to consider, because unfortunately these aren't selling for 99 cents, these are selling for $2. But I will sit here and say this, if they sold for 99 cents, maybe they wouldn't have, maybe they would have sold a lot more. This has only done 5,400 so far. My expectation is it'll probably only do around, at best, maybe 10,000 sales by Thursday. But then again, much like the Abyss, that means this probably won't have sold so much compared to most of the other things. But that only did 9,000 sales or subscribers, and then, you know, that has about 13,000 each. You know what? If I go back over here, I swear we had the... there we are. Yeah. All right. So after the first 24 hours of sales, 4,000 each, and then over to here, just under 4,000. Yeah, this actually might only do about 9,000 sales. I guess that's not exactly completely out of the question. Alright, maybe that very likely will straight up match up to the likes of the hoodie and pants. And yes, you're probably wondering, what happened to the boots? Facepunch loves to do this. So they haven't really done it this much so far this year. So, of course, earlier this year, we've had the likes of Cyber Gloves, Legacy Kevlar, we've had Damascus, Lovestruck, and, of course, Abyss. These 4 pairs here came out with their boots. Abyss and the Chameleon Roadsign gloves did not. If we do have a proper Complete the Sets at some point later this year, don't be surprised if you randomly see a Complete the Sets Rustor with, like, a batch of boot skins, and you very likely might see Chameleon and an Abyss and some other random boot skin. Yeah, it's happened before, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just randomly make them appear later this year. And yeah, that'll still cause the likes of the skins to spike in demand, spike in price. I know, it's silly. So anyway, the boots, I wouldn't be surprised if they get resubmitted at some point later this year, or some randomly accepted in complete the sets later this year. We'll see. Looking at that particular skin as an investment, well, first of all, it is abnormal. Please take that into consideration. I think you're probably better off just sticking with doing a buy order. Yes, you could buy some. Yes, I do expect it to retain its value. No, I don't think the profit's going to be that crazy. But we are still expecting Tier 2 armor. Tier 2 armor has not yet been produced by Milho Frito, but trust me when I sit here and say, it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And he's probably saving it for the June 4 swipe. Rubbing his hands, waiting to submit it in the final week of May, knowing that it's going to be readily prepared for June 4 swipe, where we're expecting quite a lot of people to be jumping in. We're getting very close to summertime, and of course with the likes of summertime, go away privacy, bleh, we're expecting a lot of people to be playing. And if we don't see a lot of people to be playing, I'm going to be very upset. Okay, anyway, over to here. I expect good things for it. Just don't expect very high prices. Maybe it does end up going very high. Maybe Chameleon as a whole, when we finally get that Tier 2 armor being, produced and, fingers crossed, accepted, maybe it all just goes very high in price. I have to bring this up. You might be well aware that Milho Frito also made the likes of the Tempered Collection. Tempered Collection, when it was, first completed, it was actually selling for very high prices. I'm not joking. Quite a lot of these skins were selling for, $5 plus. We're not seeing that anymore, unfortunately, but it did happen, so we'll see, Not every single skin has to be camouflage. Sometimes it can just be nice and shiny. Show some respect to the shiny skins. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Black Gold Pump Shotgun. Black Bold... I said Black Bold. Sorry, I'm bald. It's in my head. I can't get it out. Wow, that Imperial Pump Shotgun went down in price a fair bit. That's not looking very pretty. But these recent ones, when they go down in price, it's not by that much. So let's quickly look at the likes of this No Mercy Pump Shotgun. That did about 12,300 sales. Part of the biggest collection in Rust, and well, only 30 listings on the Steam market, selling right now at $2.24. And if I can recall, this sold for $2.49 in the Rust store. You got 10 plus listings there below its Rust store price. Not the best of things to see. Actually, if I can look at that again, how many sales has it had? Oh, it's had 9 sales. Let's show liquidity. Liquidity being the amount of sales we see every day. It's doing under 10 a day. Yeah, 5 to 10 a day over the past 2-3 months. Does that sound appealing to you? Not really. No. Maybe people just don't really care for using a pump shotgun at this current time. Which, okay, that's not exactly... It's not hard to notice, I guess you could say. These prices aren't ridiculous. Now, the older ones, yeah. All of these went up in price a whole bunch when we had those fun slugs a good 2 or so years ago. Now, since then, they got nerfed again. It was a bit overpowered. This is annoying. Look, I'm just going to bring up all the black gold weapons that have come out in the recent past, and you can see for yourself that they haven't exactly been changing the world. Clothing and armor's doing alright. Weapons, some of them are doing alright, not all of them. Anyway, so, that's awkward. Going back over to here, looking at that, it's a lovely looking design. The ever so shiny gold, the black trim, it does look cool, but I just don't think it's going to be something I'll probably end up buying. It'll be something I think I could easily get with a buy order. I just don't think it'll go down in price that much. I don't think it's going to be selling that much. I think at best that's going to probably also only do about 8 to 10,000 subscribers by Thursday. So, yeah. I mean, again, look at all the pump shotguns that have come out somewhat recently. That's doing alright at the moment. That only did 5,500 subscribers. That has hardly any stock in the Steam market. I don't think it's constantly selling skins, so let's just quickly take a look at the likes of that. And what do we see? 19 listings. That's done 4 sales today. We've got the liquidity here. Yeah, it's probably doing 5 sales at best a day. And it's most likely selling to the highest buy order. So, yeah, I don't think this is actually something I'm going to go really crazy for. I might only request I might request a lower quantity overall with my buy orders, and I might just stick with the buy orders. Yeah, no, it's just not really getting a lot of traffic. So, hey, it's abnormal. We'll look at it Wednesday. We'll consider prices, but don't be surprised if I sit there and say, I'm just going to stick with doing a buy order because, yeah, it really does look like that will be the case. All right, then, so 8 to 10,000 subscribers is the current estimate. Let's now move on to the likes of the El Diablo Bow. You've only done 3,000 sales after 2 days, or 3,000 bare minimum sales. Huh. Right, okay, well, that happened. Okay, well, let's quickly look at the bow. There was a lot of support for this in terms of upvotes. Lots of people really did want to see this eventually being picked. Well, it was after, what, a year or so? Got to bring that up. Some of these skins, yeah, this was almost in the workshop for about 3 years. This was just over a year, and with likes of this, 6 weeks. That bow, it has continued the El Diablo collection, but the El Diablo collection as a whole isn't doing super good. Oh dear. So it's not like the collection can help it out. Let's also take a look at all the bow skins. How all the bow skins currently doing. Pumpkin's doing alright, but that's being manipulated. Legacy Bow's doing alright, but that was a special, unique bow produced by Face Punch themselves. I don't think we'll see anything like that for a very long time. So the likes of what we have here, that's down to $1. That's a Twitch drop. That's down to $1. That's just over $1. That's under $1 slightly under $1, slightly under $1, literally $1. 144, that's doing a little bit better. Just over $1, just over $1, $1.22. Right, you kind of get the point. Most of these bow skins go down pretty bad. It's unfortunate, but that is the expectation. However, with the likes of the pumpkin bow from the Halloween from the previous year, 2023, that's currently getting manipulated. Bow skins do get manipulated. It's not something you should be surprised about. However, will that end up becoming a viable target? How much did the pumpkin bow end up at? Because that also hardly sold anything initially. Okay, that only ended up with 4,300 subscribers. That's nothing. All the better, or rather, so much easier for the manipulators to buy up the vast majority of the stock and inflate the value. So if you happen to own any pumpkin bows, you probably don't want to sell just yet, but keep an eye on the likes of that, you know. With the way it's currently positioned, that could easily end up at $10 maybe in about a week or two's time. Hardly anything there, and you will see a lot of very legitimate builders over here to the right that are definitely real people offering high prices for them. Keep an eye on it, keep an eye on it. Anyway. Yeah, that's just going to probably end up being a 60 cent to 80 cent barter. It's not abnormal. We don't have the abnormal time advantage, but even then, I just don't think I'm going to be going crazy for it. I don't think anyone's going crazy for it. But if it has hardly any sales, you might want to keep an eye on it because, it might potentially get attacked. It might potentially be manipulated. So, be prepared to such a thing. I'm warning you, alright? Be prepared, but might just be a simple case of, alright, I'll pick up a bunch of these with a barter, and I'll just wait and see what happens in the future. If it gets manipulated, cool, I'll just sell then. Yeah, it's that. Right then, so that was all the skins. It might have been a bit of a ramble, but that's what you love to hear. You love to have a nice little podcast in your ears as Hedge rambles about pixels. Right, current state of skins. So, I was talking about this, let's just quickly refresh over here. A lot of the whiteout skins are reaching new all-time high prices. And when that happens, that usually is when prices are very good. So let's just quickly go over to here. And, well, we're getting there. Slowly getting there for the pants. But you kind of get the point. We reached a low point around just at the end of March. And now we're cruising on upwards. It's been fairly tame recently, but it's starting to pick up again. I can confirm with you that I've looked at the face mask, and that face mask has now reached a brand new all-time high price. I've just got to find said face mask, but I don't seem to see it. So I'm going to go type in whiteout. And what do I see over here? Whiteout face mask. You're currently selling for around $15, correct? Oh, no, 14. I was off a fair bit. Anyway, let's go see your price currently. And yeah, it's the newest all-time high price. So, yeah, prices for Ruskins across the board right now, doing very, very good. Keep an eye on all of your skins. Constantly keep an eye on your skins in your inventory. It is expected that that they're going to reach an even higher price once we reach, June. Will it continue in June, or will it start to slow down in June? We shall see. But if the prices are good for you now, consider selling. But please don't unload all of your stock at once. I will be releasing a video, by the time you're watching this video, it'll be the next day. It'll be me talking about the flashbacks hoodie and pants, and how one individual He bought far too many Flashbacks hoodies, caused the hoodie specifically to suffer, whereas right now the pants, well, they're doing fine. They're comfortably in the positive. So why is the hoodie struggling so much? Because one individual is dumping them constantly, and he's ruined all the support I had with the barders. So consider watching that video when it comes out, the Flashbacks follow-up. Right, so that's looking cool, that's looking interesting, and, well, other skins are also trending upwards ever so nicely. Shadowborn Sheep Metal Double Door, already rising up, very nice to see. We've got Neon Ammo Storage here. Are you starting to reach a brand new all-time high price, or are you just reaching up to prices you were selling for like previous summers? So you're trending upwards, and, oh, yeah, you are reaching a new all-time high price. Cool. Cool. So I don't think it's stopping. I think it's still going. So yeah, you kind of get the idea. Things are doing better right now. If you really want to sell your skins, yeah, go for it if you want to. But they very likely could be even better next month. And then, you know, got mummy wraps there. They always tend to rise up in price in the summer. Well, guess what? They're already rising up in price now. $9. I go over to here. Yep, that's doing pretty good. So that's almost reaching the price that it's selling for around June time last year. Well, do you know what? June's just like 2 or 3 weeks away. So we're prepping, we're getting close, and we're going to reach potentially a new high price that will be the highest price since, of course, well, I mean, guess that. But yeah, that was 3 years ago, offline TV era. So it'll be the newest high price from like from here. You get the idea. So things are looking pretty cool. Things are looking sweet. And is there anything else I really need to say? Probably not. At the very least, keep an eye on the likes of the commits. The commits for the past week, it's been a hack week. So all the people working at FacePunch have been just working on some goofy ideas that they had in their heads and whatnot. You see some very strange things being worked on, but hey, sometimes a goofy idea does end up, you know, getting worked on and then actually introduced to the game. So I think that's how the metal detector initially came about. I can't remember. I think that's how it initially came in, but you get the idea. So travelling vendor very likely might be something that'll be readily prepared for the likes of June. We've also seen mentions of a pool table, codpiece gun. What? Codpiece? Okay, well, that's interesting. Reduced copies. No, my copies of what? I don't know. And we got SKS movement changes. So SKS very likely will be a brand new weapon potentially ready for June as well. June is preparing to be a pretty good force wipe. So look forward to it, I guess. Keep an eye on the commits. See what they're currently working on in the lead up to June force wipe. Another 3 weeks to go. We shall see. So player count, you're doing all right. It's not crazy, but we're getting there. That's all I can really say. We're getting there. Good times are ahead of us. But to be honest with you, we're currently going through some good times. So appreciate it, I guess. The kids will be out of school at some point soon in America, and when it's summer vacation, player counts increase, lots of money gets thrown in the Steam market, we enjoy it. So keep an eye on your inventories, guys, keep an eye on those prices, we'll see how it all turns out. Thank you very much for watching me today, I greatly appreciate it, and please don't forget, keep an eye on the Rust Workshop. Of course, keep an eye out for the likes of my Rust Workshop skin checks. The most recent one located over here. You never know, maybe some of these skins potentially might be accepted in the next Rust store, who knows? Or, I have to bring this up because I mentioned it earlier, with the current Rust store that we have, as I said, some of these skins were submitted a long time ago. Do you reckon this is like kind of a complete the sets? Look at the skins that are accepted. Rainbow Pony, Redemption, Chameleon, Black Gold, El Diablo. And then, of course, some of these were from quite a long time ago. This is the exact same type of thing you would see with Complete the Sets. So it might not be Complete the Sets in the name, but I guess we could say it technically is. Will this trend continue next week and the week after that? Will it be something that we just see during May? I don't know. But I do look forward to the absolutely random things that will be pulled out from the workshop from years ago. So look forward to it. You can go look around in the workshop if you want to. Like, you know, maybe there's a skin in the Blackout collection. Or the Whiteout collection, maybe. Or maybe certain skins that weren't accepted earlier in the year randomly get accepted now. Ha, flashbacks, ha, Thundergold, ha, funny times, ha. You know, silly things like that. Who knows? What about Curse Collection with the Deer Skull mask? That looked cool. What about Skull Force and its primitive skins? That looked cool. So, yeah, there's plenty of other things that could be appearing. It's just I have absolutely no idea. It's fun to fantasize. Right, cool. So you get the idea. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the next week. Look forward to June 4th swipe. Keep an eye on your skins. Look forward to the profits. Have a good one. Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.